quickly as possible. As a matter of fact, when we go to get money for our businesses, then it's really probable that we need it pretty soon, sooner than later, right? So when you need money, how do you get it quickly? Well, if you do these few things we're going to talk about today, then you are set up perfectly to be able to get fast funding. And so this is really the fast funding checklist. These are the things you should be doing right now to prepare yourself so when you need money quickly, you're able to get it. This is the key to getting hundreds of thousands or even millions of dollars in a very short period of time. This is the key of how if we want $100, $200, $300,000, $400,000, we can get it in about 2 weeks or less because we have these things prepared. You can too. So it's all about preparation. There's a few things we're going to cover today. You're going to leave this training having a fast funding checklist of the things you should be doing now to set yourself up to get quick funding when you actually need to get that money in the door. Okay, so let's go. So first of all, let's start with the beginning. You know you need money, right? You're going to need money to grow your business. What you want to do is be proactive, not active. So what you want to be prepared, I need to eat stress to go and get it. You don't want to be reactive and say, I need money, to go apply. Because when you do that, you don't have to close it. Ultimately, you end up getting funding in that scenario. You usually get paid first term, more interest, but you even want to. So that's really ultimately what we're trying to avoid is how do we get the money we need when we need it? And again, be prepared and be proactive, not reactive, okay? So what can you get money for? Just about everything you can think about. You can get a lot of money to start a business. You can get money for working capital just to handle your day-to-day things like marketing, advertising, payroll. You're able to get money for expansion. You're able to get money for development, for IT, for building new products and services and innovating. You're able to get it for technology upgrades and just about anything else you can think about. The question is that, are you prepared to get that money? And if you're not, well, here's really the 3 steps to take. So the very first thing you want to do right now, if you think anywhere in the future you're going to need money, is something we talk about a lot, which is Fundability Foundation. And the reason this matters is because this is the checklist that lenders have to determine if you're going to get approved or not. It's just that simple. So what you want to do is understand what lenders are looking for, meet that criteria before you're ready to apply. And then that way, like, it's smooth sailing. You're not stressed. You're not freaked out. Like, you know when you are going to apply that you're probably going to get approved because you know what they're looking for and you meet that criteria. Now, this is interesting about you and I talking today because we invented fundability, right? What we did was take our COO, my business partner, who was the top banker in the country at one of the biggest banks, who understood underwriters, who understood their algorithms. We worked with other lenders. We work with business credit reporting agencies. We get all of this data. I mean, millions and millions and millions of points of data to determine what lenders are really looking for. Let me give you an example. Just this week, we've brought in 22 million records into our algorithms and databases with this information so we can determine from those 22 million records, how are lenders making decisions? Then we work backwards to be able to teach this to you. So this isn't some theory. This isn't some concept. This is something we've been able to accumulate millions and millions, and I mean hundreds of millions of records throughout our time and be able to put it together in an algorithm that tells you this recipe. And here is the recipe. The recipe is that you first need to make sure that all of your contact information is up to date. Everywhere it's listed. Go Google your business and see where your business is listed. You can have citations out there, local and national citations. You can have your social media pages. You can be listed on all these yellow pages and your Google business profile, your Bing profile. There's all these places that your business information may be updated. Now, go to Upwork, hire a virtual assistant to do this, create an Excel log, have them do a search, and then list every single place that your business information is listed. Here's what you want to look for. Is your business name and spelling correct in every one of those locations? Is your business contact information, including email, phone, and address, the same in every one of those locations? This is congruency, and it's where you want to start because it's where you'll get turned down. More than half of all applications for funding are turned down because the lender thinks it's fraudulent. They think it's fraudulent because they look at your application information and they go to these places to validate that your business is real. So what they're doing is if I'm applying and I'm Credit Suite Incorporated, they say, is Credit Suite Incorporated a real company? They send out their crawlers. They look at Secretary of State. They look at IRS. They look at Yellow Page listings. They look at Facebook. They look at our social pages, our website, and they're looking, are we out there? Is our brand, our company name, our address, our phone number, everything we put on the application, is it matching up in all these other places online? And if they see that it is, if they say, yep, here they are in Secretary of State, here's their website, here's the social media pages, there's 17 different Yellow Page listings for them. Yep, same name, same company, same address, same phone number. Then they validate that the company is real. So it's the very first check you want to do to be able to get fast funding is make sure that the information the lenders look for out in the world is congruent with what you're putting on the application. If a VA compiles all this for you and you see differences in incorrect information, you got to update it. Go to Secretary of State first, go to IRS second, go to business reporting agencies third, updated. Then go anywhere else you see your business information listed and make sure it's updated there as well. And by the way, Kamithia, thank you very much for coming in. I appreciate you saying hello. Humphrey is in the house from Dallas, Texas, both on YouTube. Thank you for saying hi. So that's the first thing we want to do with this checklist. We got to make sure we get our fundability. We need to make sure our information is congruent. The next thing is that the information we have should reflect that we're like a real business. Like a real entity is an LLC or a corporation or even a partnership. It's not a sole proprietorship. If you're a sole proprietorship, you need to change entity types. There's no other way to say it. Even SBA says a sole proprietor is somebody experimenting with the business idea. It's not even considered to be a real business. The same thing with your phone number. Do you have a business phone number? Never use a mobile and home phone. Do you have a separate address for the business? Even if it's a virtual office, Regis, Alliance, Da Vinci, those kind of sources, that's fine. But don't use a P.O. box. Don't use a mailboxes, etc. address. Don't use an iPostal address. If they cost less than $20 a month, you're typically renting a digital mailbox. You can't use those. Okay. You also don't want to use co-work spaces. You don't want to use a home address unless you absolutely have to. Let's have a separate address for the business. The next thing is get a business license. It's super cheap and easy to do. There's a source out there called Granger, one of the best sources in the business credit building world. They will give you a $2,500 credit line just because your business has an address. Now, the reason I'm using that as an example is that's how favorable credit issuers and lenders look at somebody with a license, because most of us never take the step of getting a license because we don't need to get a license. But if I can get a license, like in my county here in Florida, I can get one. It's like $60. I'm going to get it. And I'm going to include it on my application when I apply because it just gives me a lot more legitimacy. I'm going to have a separate bank account for the business. And again, my utility statements for the business, my bank account statements, they should all have the same information, right? The same address, the same phone number. It's easy to overlook. I don't get my bank statements mailed to me. They come to me electronically. You probably may be the same. So when this happens, I don't look at the address on my bank account because I don't get my statements in my mail anymore. So these things are easy to overlook, but it's what lenders are actually checking for. They're going to ask for those bank statements to make sure that the information there matches everything else. And if it doesn't, it creates red flags. It creates all kinds of concerns on their end if what they're seeing is even legitimate or not. Have an EIN number. You should already have that set up as well. Have a professional website set up, a professional email address set up. You can go to profitlifter.com. Profit Lifter is like $97 to be able to build a website, professional looking website. And your website should reflect what you do. The other thing you need to do here, we covered this weeks ago, just by itself, you need to have a NAICS code, NAICS. Your NAICS code indicates the industry that you're in. You should know your NAICS code. You should check your business credit reports. Does it have the correct NAICS code? Do your taxes have the right NAICS code? You need to make sure that's congruent everywhere because, again, risk, high interest rates, short terms, high payments, it all links back to you being in a high-risk industry. Well, in a lot of cases, you're not even in a high-risk industry. You just are being associated with the wrong NAICS code that is high risk when you're not high risk. You don't want that to happen. You could be sitting there getting loan and credit card and credit line after loan, credit card, and credit line again and again and again and pay way higher interest than you should be because you're high risk when you're really not. So know your NAICS code. Is it correct on the IRS documents? Is it correct on the taxes your accountant is filing? Is it correct on your actual with your lender? Is it or your bank that you do your banking with? Is it correct as well with the business credit reporting agencies? Those things should be in check. Now, if you've done these things, congratulations, you're step 1 of 3 out of the way. So quick funding all comes down to having all that stuff in order and making sure that when you apply, you're like, apply with confidence, right? When we apply for loans or credit lines, we're kicked back. We're not worried about getting approved. We know we'll get approved because we know what they're looking for and we meet the criteria. We know the checks they do. Now you do, and we know we'll pass. And that's the first thing you want to do to be able to get quick funding. Now, the second thing you want to be doing is you want to start right now building your business credit. Look, there's enough of this you holding off and waiting. Just go do it. Go to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/credit suite. We give you step-by-step guides to be able to do it. You can go to creditsuite.com/EIN. I'll pull that up so you can scan the QR code or just go right here and look at this image and it'll give it to you as well. This is a step-by-step guide on how to do it. Look, don't do it all at once. Just take a little step. Oh, fundability, step 1 done, okay? Ty said to go get this account with Granger. I'm just going to go do it today. I got time. Today, my to-do list includes getting Granger. Oh, what? I got it. I'm going to buy stuff. I'm going to use it. I'm done. I'm done today. 2 days from now, I'm going to come back in. I'm going to get Uline. Oh, Ty said I should get Uline. I'm going to go get Uline. Here's some stuff I want to buy. I got it. I used it. They sent my stuff. I paid my bill. Done. Right? Just take little bite-sized pieces. Don't try to tackle this whole business credit thing all together at once. Just take little steps forward, right? That's what we understand as entrepreneurs. It's just forward momentum. We wouldn't be entrepreneurs if we didn't understand that, right? Because all we do is walk forward and then get slammed backwards and walk forward and slam backwards. But what we notice is that we move forward a little bit further every time and we get pushed back, but we still make forward progress. It's the same thing in business credit building. You've got to do this. And here's why. Because business credit is as important to your business getting money as consumer credit is to you getting money as a consumer. You can't get a car loan, you can't get a mortgage, you can't get high limit credit cards if your personal credit's not in check. In the business world, you can't be walking around naively thinking you're going to get business credit cards, business loans, and business credit cards when you are not in check on the business credit side, right? And you don't want to need money today and start building business credit today. That's the last freaking thing you want to do. What you want to do is be ready to go get money and be able to actually go get the money based on what is on your business credit report. So let me give you an example. We just closed a monster deal here at Credit Suite. Monster deal, right? And in order to get this deal done, we had to qualify for about $2.5 million is what we had to credit qualify for, right? And guess what? Passed flying colors because we built our business credit. Here's the crazy thing. It's the opportunity of a lifetime for our company, right? And this is going to happen to you. These opportunities are going to come up that could be the absolute game changer for your business. In all these books, I've read this recent theme in these books that I've read. I read a lot, you read a lot. And the recent theme is it only takes one relationship, one opportunity, right? Tap back to Eminem songs right now. Eminem songs, right? One opportunity. And that's all you need in one business to take you to 7, 8, 9 figures. You need one opportunity. But the problem is, are you ready for that opportunity when it comes? See, we build business credit. We live this. This is what we do. We don't just practice it, we preach it. We don't just preach it, we practice it. So because of that, we've done the right things. And then when this opportunity came up, we were able to pass with flying colors because we were prepared for the opportunity. I want you to do the same thing. Business credit helps you be prepared for the opportunities that may arise. Okay, I learned this years ago. I didn't make it up, but I picked this up and it's been with me for decades. And it's that success happens when preparation meets opportunity. And that is one of the biggest mantras I live by in my life, is that I need to be prepared. Because if I walk through my life prepared, then I can take advantage of opportunities when other people are sitting on the sideline missing them because they weren't ready. And that's how we're successful at Credit Suite. It's how your business should be successful as well. You need to be prepared for opportunities. Business credit helps you be prepared for those opportunities. It's your reputation. Everybody can see your business credit reports and scores. It's a way for your business to fund itself without personal guarantees and credit checks. But it's what lenders are looking for as well. If I want that $150,000 credit line, just got approved for it last week, 2 $150,000 credit lines. Guess what? We didn't even take them. We decided not even to take them. We're like, we don't even need it. I want you to be there. But we're there because we have established business credit. We know what lenders are looking for. We passed the first check of fundability. We build business credit, which is the second check. You should be doing the same thing. Getting business credit, using it to pay your bills, using it to make your cash flow not have as much restrictions on your cash flow. Then you are prepared by having a business credit profile and score built that when you go to get that money, you're good. You're kicked back. You know you're fine because you know lenders are going to pull the credit report for the business, and you know the credit for the business is solid. Okay, number 3. And by the way, number 2 never stops. People ask me, how long does it take to build business credit? You never stop building business credit. Business credit is an ongoing process. You're always going to build credit because the more credit you build, the more you add on your business credit reports, the easier approvals will be for funding, the more money you're going to get, the better terms you're going to get. Number 3, the third of our steps on our fast funding checklist, the third and final, is you need to have your books in order. And this means 2 different things. First of all, have your financials at the ready. A lot of loans aren't going to ask for P&Ls and balance sheets. A lot of them will, okay? So I'll give you an example. I have another big opportunity on the horizon right now. And the very first thing they want to see is our projected financials. And you know what I did? Downloaded them and sent them. They're on my desktop. So I do projected financials for my business because it's a good exercise for me as the CEO. I want to know these things are coming up in the next quarter and the next year and the next 2 years. Here's what I predict these things will do regarding our expenses, regarding our income, regarding our revenue. I'm not even doing them to get loans. I'm doing them because I want to know myself what I can expect the company to do. I want to know what our projections are. But by having those projections ready, when I have opportunities come up like I have in the last week, then I'm able to jump and take advantage of those and just send them what they're looking for because it's here. That's how you get fast funding, is you have what they're going to ask for at the ready. I have a folder on my desktop for our financials, my personal and my business. And my personal financials has the stuff you think about. It has my driver's license, front and back copy. They ask for that all the time. Has my most recent 90 days of bank statements. So whenever I get a new bank statement, I replace one that's 4 months old and put the new one in there. So I always have 3 months worth of personal bank statements. My last year's tax returns for my personal and the rest of my businesses, right? They always ask for all my business tax returns. And they see I have other businesses. They're all sitting in there as well, okay? And then I have in that same folder, a folder for Credit Suite. And Credit Suite's folder has our most 3 recent bank statements. It has our profit and loss statement from last year. It has our balance sheet from last year. And then I get an updated P&L and an updated balance sheet every quarter. And I put those in there as well. And they just sit there. And then whenever I need to get a loan, I go and get a loan. A buddy of mine bought a business. And he said, that was the worst process I've ever went through. Then we had an opportunity to buy something else and he needed to get a loan. He said, I'd rather pay cash. I'm not going to buy it. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to go through that loan process again. I said, let me ask you something. Why was the loan process so hard for you to go through? He said, they asked for this and this and this and this. And I had to go get all this stuff. And I asked him, I said, you run a big business. Why don't you just have the stuff at the ready? Why would you have to go get anything? This should all be in a file just sitting there for you because I never thought about it. And now, ever since, he's now acquired another business. And now he's right now in Ibiza, in a whole other country, like having a great time while other people run these businesses that make him millions. Because again, when he needs funding, he just goes and get it. He's already got one folder with everything ready to go. Like he doesn't have to be in Ibiza and somebody ask him for bank statements and him have to go into his bank account and figure the whole thing out. He goes to his one folder and gets them what they need. And that's what you should have as well. You should have P&L, balance sheet. You should have projected financials. You should have a business plan ready. You should have your most recent bank statements, personal business. These things should be sitting in a folder in your on your desktop or in your computer. And first of all, this is just a good exercise. As a CEO, as a president, as your owner, as your founder, you want to be able to look at your P&L every quarter. You want to look at your balance sheet. You want to look through your bank statements. Even though it's not the kind of stuff we love to do, we should. So we're doing the right thing and having the documents ready that lenders and creditors are going to ask for. Raheem is in the house from Moreno Valley, and Mike South is in the house from St. Louis. Mike, you were not the first one in here today for like one of the first times ever. I do not know what happened where everybody jumped the gun, but Mike, it's always good to see you. Raheem, it's good to see you in here as well. So have your financials ready and have them organized. If you go to do a really big deal, they're going to probably want audited financials from an accountant. I'm not saying have those at the ready, but know they're probably going to be needed, okay? We had an opportunity to take advantage of a big deal, and they asked for audited financials. We had the audited financials ready to go. If you don't have those ready to go, that could take you months to get them from your accountant. So at the end of every year, pay the money to get audited financials from your accounting company and then drop them in this folder on your desktop. So that way, when you're dealing with venture capitalists and investors and big deals, and they ask for it, you have it at the ready, okay? So that's it. Those are the 3 things you want to do right now to get fast funding, to be proactive, not reactive. Do all the things we talked about for fundability. Set up your business where it's legitimate and credible so you pass every check that they're going to look for. Number 2, build your business credit. Start right now. So when you need hundreds of thousands or millions in funding, you already have that out of the way. You know your business credit's well established and in good shape. And 3, have your financials at the ready. Especially have a folder set aside, Google Docs on your desktop, whatever it may be, that's secure, that has your personal and your business financials. And by the way, every time a lender asks you for something, add it to that folder. Oh, lender always asks for your EIN paperwork. They always ask for your Secretary of State paperwork. So just get it once and add it to the folder. They always ask for your EIN. You probably don't remember. I don't remember my EIN numbers. So have that in a folder. So then that way, when a lender says, I need this, say, oh, that's something another lender's going to need. Take it and put it in there, okay? I used to have a grant or I used to have a judgment back in the day in the mortgage crisis that haunted me. Paid the thing off, had to get an SBA loan. And now every single time I go to get an SBA loan, they ask for proof that that judgment is paid. And you know what? I never followed my own advice. I had to spend all this time going to find the proof again. But now you better believe that's in my folder. I know they're going to ask for it. I just supplant. Hey, you're going to see an old judgment on credit report's paid off. Here's the proof that it is. And what happens is eventually I'm able to send the lender so much of what they asked for and stuff they didn't that my underwriting requirements are very small. My approvals require very few stipulations to clear to get funded because I'm sending them stuff they didn't even ask for, but I know they will ask for them, like that proof the judgment is paid. How do I know? A lender already asked for it. Went to get another loan. Lender asked for it. Now I know they're always going to ask for it. So I just send it. Here you go. I had a judgment. It's paid off. Here's proof. Now that's not a stipulation. So when I need fast funding, I get an approval with very few requirements because I sent them everything, even the stuff they didn't ask for, because I do enough loans to know these things. So by having those documents at the ready, that's the final step to now get in and start getting funding in 24 hours, 48 hours, or getting SBA loans in 2 weeks or less because you followed these 3 steps. So those are the 3-step checklist, the 3 steps on the 3-step checklist that you want to follow. And if you follow these 3 steps, you're going to have everything at the ready. You're going to have been proactive. You're going to know what lenders want to see. You're going to have done it all. And that way, when you need fast funding to take advantage of those opportunities, you're able to swipe in, get more money than you need, and be able to get that deal done. So there you have it. For more information, follow us online at creditsuite.com. If you got value, smash the like button and make sure you subscribe. And then keep your eye out for our next training where we talk about more cool ways to get the money you need to start and grow your business. Thanks for tuning in. Take care.